One of the things that I love about progressive calisthenics is that in order for you to advance your abilities and your strength and everything, you have to advance your technique. I remember that when I first started getting into bodyweight training, I had a major change in my mentality because I had been a weightlifter for like 15 years or so, and then I thought I'm gonna give this bodyweight thing a chance for a month, and in that first week, I remember the first time I got down on the floor, I was like, well, if I can't really add a lot of weight to my push-ups, I better learn how to do them with a higher level of intensity and so forth. Like, basically what I was doing is asking myself, how do I change my technique so I get more out of the exercise? It was the first time I ever actually said, how do I work smarter, not just harder? So I was like, okay, a couple of things here, change this, move this around, and all of a sudden I went from doing 30 push-ups to doing 10. And it was like humbling, yes, but that's how I started to finally get better results. The thing is, if you want to build strength, if you want to enhance your body's ability to produce power, you need more than just extra strength in the muscle. You need a whole host of other things. You need greater balance between, balance of muscle groups, balance of, tendon and ligament strength and everything like that. You need strong joints. You need to have flexibility. You need to have balance and stability. I'll just say stability. Control. All these sorts of things you have to have. The analogy I give, another car analogy, is kind of like strength is like horsepower in the engine. All of this stuff is the stuff that helps you control that horsepower. Now, if I went into a shop and said, dump 100 horsepower into, my Acura Integra, it'd be like, oh, okay. So I just keep adding horsepower. Well, eventually, it's going to be like, Matt, you've got like 800 horsepower in your Integra, but you've got old, worn-out shocks, you got crappy brakes, you got tires that are nearly bald. This is a bad idea. You don't want to be doing, no, add more horsepower. So eventually what's going to end up happening is I'm building my own death trap, and either A, I'm not going to be able to use that horsepower, or B, I will, and I'm going to crash. And this is exactly what happened to me when I was at the end of my weightlifting career, where I was just like, more weight, more reps, more. And I was building up lots of strength in the muscles, and all of a sudden it's like I got a bad back and a bad hip and a bad knees and my bad shoulder and my shoulder's blowing out, and all this sorts of stuff is happening. When I got into progressive calisthenics, I experienced what a lot of people felt, where I was like, this sucks. I'm trying to do like single leg squats and everything like that, and I don't have the balance, I don't have the control, I don't have the stability, my joints are going all over the place. And at first I took the approach a lot of other people take, where it's like, well, this functional bull crap kind of stuff, the pistol leg squat's not a strength exercise, it's a balance exercise, for Christ's sake. You can't get strong on that. And it was true, because my balance sucked. That was why it was a balance exercise. With progressive calisthenics, Coach Wade had it right in his tagline to convict conditioning: erase all weakness, because it goes after whatever your weakness is. If you're weak in the shoulders, it's going to go after the shoulders. If you're weak in your balance, it's going to go after your balance. So a lot of times when I give people an advanced push-up routine, they're like, man, I really feel that kind of like working the shoulder. It's not in the chest at all. And a lot of people would dump it and say, well, that's more of a shoulder exercise. It's more of a shoulder exercise for you because your shoulders are weak. Then your shoulders get stronger, then the next link gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Before you know it, everything is just strong. One more analogy for you. It's like building up a sand pile, okay? If you ever took just sand and started dumping it on a flat surface, if you want to get stronger, that's like saying build up the sand pile higher. But you can't build a higher sand pile without the base spreading out at the same time. Progressive calisthenics is the same thing. It allows your base to finally grow. Say, fine, if you want to get stronger, you're also going to have to develop all of the other fitness qualities and physical abilities that are important for you to be able to handle that strength safely. So if your ligaments in your shoulder are weak, those are going to get stronger. If your balance in your legs and hips and control in your back is weak, that'll improve. And that'll improve. Then it'll say, okay, now that you've improved your brakes and your shocks and your struts and everything like that, now we can put more horsepower in. And then the two just kind of build on each other. Like, oh, you got more horsepower, that means you need stronger control abilities. Oh, you got stronger control abilities? Now you can add more horsepower. And they build and just keep going and going and going. But when you're saying, okay, just add more horsepower, get stronger, stronger, and you're not worried about the other things, it's like, I'm trying, and all of a sudden, pow, something breaks and you get injured. So that's why I think you can ultimately build more strength, power, muscle with the progressive calisthenics versus the weightlifting, because someone gets on the bench and they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be lifting more weight, and I'm like, but your technique's not changing, which is what I'll be covering in the next video. Till then, be fit, live free.